the third Caliph, Uthman Radintala. In the last episode, we talked about the terrible event when the second Caliph, Umar Radintala, was stabbed by the bad Persian guy. Before he passed away, Umar Radintala selected 6 great Sahabas who were promised paradise by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they were Uthman, Ali, Zubair, Talha, Abdurrahman, and Saad, peace be upon them all. Caliph Umar Radintala chose them as members running in the election and told them that in 3 days, one of them should be their next Caliph of Islam. But at that time, Talha Radintala was not in Medina. After Umar Radintala's funeral, Uthman, Ali, Zubair, Abdurrahman, and Saad, peace be upon them all, got together and started their closed-door meeting. It was a long and hard decision. But with the help of Abdurrahman Radintala, finally, on the 3rd day, they chose Uthman Radintala as the 3rd Caliph of Islam in the year of 644, and the Muslim Ummah happily approved their decision. The new Caliph Uthman Radintala was around 67 years old and was from the extremely rich Umayyad family in Mecca and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's son-in-law. Before Islam came, Uthman Radintala never drank or smoked and later became the 4th man who accepted Islam. During the early days of Islam, most of the early Muslims were really poor. Since Uthman Radintala was extremely rich and a successful businessman, he would always help out the Muslims by giving a lot of his own money for Islam and protected his Muslim brothers and sisters, which is why his nickname was Ghani, the one who is very generous. Caliph Uthman Radintala helped the Muslim people in many different ways. At the beginning, when the bad Quraysh wanted to hurt the new Muslims, Uthman Radintala funded the first migration to Abyssinia, where the Muslims were safe. Another time, during the Battle of Tabuk, Uthman Radintala donated 6,000 camels and 50 horses to the Muslim army. In the extreme desert heat, water was extremely valuable. And one time, during the dry season, the Muslim had to buy water from a non-Muslim's well. But the generous Uthman Radintala bought that entire well at a very high price and then donated that well to the general people. He volunteered his time to protect the poor people and helped them by giving money, and every week he also tried to free at least one slave. Because he had so much, Uthman Radintala also spent a lot of his time reading the Quran, prayed, and fasted a lot because he was extremely grateful for everything that he had. Since the first 2 caliphs, Abu Bakr Radintala and Umar Radintala, were poor, they took a small salary from the Baytul Mal so they could survive and do their duties as a caliph. However, because Uthman Radintala was extremely rich, he didn't take any money from the Baytul Mal and did all of the hard duties of a leader for free because he wanted to help and unite the empire to the best of his ability, and he did not want to be unfair by taking the people's money when he already had so much. As a person, Uthman radhiyallahu was very modest, soft-hearted, and a kind person. On the very first day of his job as the new caliph, he faced a very difficult problem. As we mentioned before, Caliph Umar radhiyallahu was killed by a Persian non-Muslim man named Peruz. So, Umar radhiyallahu son Ubaidullah became very angry and destroyed some Persian men in Medina involved in his father's death. When Umar radhiyallahu heard the news before his death, he did not want to give any special favors to his own family members because he knew that was not right. Right away, he ordered to put his own son in jail and said that the next caliph would decide what his punishment would be. Following the Islamic law, Ubaidullah's punishment would have been a death sentence. But the kind-hearted Uthman radhiyallahu understood the emotional situation and followed the other law that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ also allowed. Caliph Uthman radhiyallahu forgave Umar radhiyallah's son Ubaidullah and paid the blood money, which was a very high fee that Caliph Uthman radhiyallahu himself paid to the victims' families. Throughout the 12 years of Caliph Uthman radhiyallah's rule, he ruled with a kind heart and always considerate when making a decision, and always tried to bring peace and unity to the Muslim Ummah.